All right, let's turn over to our home team for the week, Majesticks. Henrik, Ian, Lee, Sam, thank you very much for being here. Lee, I'll start with you. Can you just explain what it means to return to LIV Golf UK and to compete in front of home crowds here this week as part of the Majesticks?
Yes, I guess most people know that, I was born and brought up about an hour from here. So, anytime I get to play in the UK, in England, but especially in the Midlands is very special. For all those people that ask me for tickets, can you do it earlier next time and send your email address? Because last minute is a bit awkward. But it's great. It's great to be here at JCB. I think you can see, looking out the window, what a special place it is and a great venue. It's a fantastic facility. The practice facilities are incredible. The golf course is improving every year. It's in spectacular condition this year. They have made changes, and as Graham said, listen to the players and listen to LIV where they can make small improvements. I think new courses always get judged a little bit too early in their lifetime, and to say that 20 years ago this was farmland, and now to look what you've got is a testament to JCB and the effort and the hard work that they put into the tournament and the facility here. So I'm looking forward to a great week. It'll be fantastic. The crowds will be great. It'll be nice playing in front of UK fans. Being kind of the home team. We'll have a lot of support, especially coming off the back of an Open Championship where everybody's kind of in that golfing summertime. I know you don't look out the window, you don't necessarily see summertime, but that summertime, sort of great British sporting calendar. This is a great add-on to the Open Championship, which came last week. So it should be a fantastic week.
Ian, you've spoken lots in the past about mentoring the next generation, growing the game. How does that vision take shape this week with the Majesticks, particularly with initiatives like the Little Sticks program?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we're kind of 2 years into Little Sticks, and Jordan and his team, and with the help of my fellow co-captains and Sam, we've built what is we feel an incredible curriculum that's gone into the PE school system. We've got 200 schools now which are taking this up. I think that's 40,000+ kids that are going to be reached over by the end of 2025. So we've got it here this week. We'll be getting as many kids coming into our Little Sticks program this week, just getting a club in their hands for the first time, and just really seeing what good we can do within the community and within the UK school system. It's been pretty rewarding, I think, for us to see the growth in that. I think when we sat down and spoke about it and kind of had a vision of how many kids we can touch, I think it's pretty remarkable today, with the help of LIV and everyone involved, that we can hit that many kids in such a short space of time. So big thanks to everyone involved that's been able to help us implement that properly, and it's pretty special to see.
Henrik, the Majesticks and the league recently announced a major partnership with HSBC. Can you just, as an example, speak to the momentum that the team is building this season and how partnerships like this reflect the broader growth of the Majesticks and LIV Golf?
Yeah, we got some great momentum going. Of course, we just need to get it on the course as well. We've been lacking on that end a little bit, but great to have HSBC come in as a league partner and also as a team partner for us and the Crushers. They've been involved with the game of golf for a long time. Over the years, we played plenty of tournaments around the world, sponsored and put on by HSBC. So. We know the people, they're great people to work with, and we're really excited about the partnership and what we can do together going forward.
Awesome. Let's open it up to questions from the media. Go ahead, Mike.
Sam, given that you live 5 minutes away, how many team functions are you hosting this week, if any?
6.
Yeah, every night. No, I haven't had any actually this week. I've been going my life's a little crazy at the moment. We're supposed to have a barbecue on Monday night, but that never came to fruition.
Bad weather.
Bad weather. It was raining. But yeah, no, I would love to have the guys over at some point. You know, obviously this is quite a busy week for us with everything going on. So, you know, tomorrow it'll be into tournament mode for the guys, and you know they're fortunate enough to be staying right here. So, yeah, I hope they can come over and see the house at some point.
And you talked about the course changes. What's the most significant one or two changes out there?
Yeah, so the third hole last year was a bit controversial. There was a bunker about 30, 40 yards short, you know, and it would sort of kick down into the water. You know, so they've taken that out, flattened that area, which I think is great. You know, when guys are trying to land a 4-iron, 5 wood, you know, in 10 short of the green, you don't want it really bouncing in the water when you've hit a good shot. You know, obviously added new tee boxes on 12, 13. 13, I think, is great, the par 5. You know, they've cleared out all the trees on the left side, and it's a lot more open now, and I think visually it looks great. And adding a new tee box back, you can hit driver and not worry about running through into the water, whereas last year I hit 3 wood to keep it short of the water, and it was, you know, you never really want to hit a 3 wood off a par 5 tee, right? So now you're hitting your driver sort of into the same area, but now, you know, it demands a good drive so that you can get there into. It's a great risk-reward tee shot hole.
And this is for everybody, but we've got the Caddy tournament this afternoon. How much chatter has been amongst the caddies, especially your guys? Or Lee, is Helen even playing?
Apparently she's just going to put because she's got a sore arm, but must have been for making all the tuna sandwiches last week.
Or carrying your waterproofs.
Yeah, I'll carry my waterproofs, right. No, all the players love watching the caddies play in the caddy tournament because, you know, they give us advice all year round. Now we get to see how they do it. So
Or don't.
Or don't do it. So it gives us plenty of ammunition for the rest of the season.
I'm excited though. We got some new additions. Marcus, that caddies for me. He's a good player, so I think we're in good shape this year.
I'm looking forward to it as well because apparently Marcus has snapped more clubs than Henrik. So I just want to know if he's using your clubs or he's brought his own.
Right?
That's impressive.
No, I think he's going to be using mine, but he's a strong guy and he's gonna hit every club that I have in the bag further than I do. So
Does he send it?
He sends it.
Does he?
Yeah.
He's seen the size of them biceps.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Clarky has.
Yeah. So definitely a big addition compared to Gareth Lord.
All right, thanks.
Josh.
Question for Ian. With this being a home event for you guys, the Ripper GC have seen a lot of success over in Oz in Adelaide. Do you hope to create a similar atmosphere and a similar following here this week and in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think hope's the right word. I mean, as Henrik said earlier, we need to perform better as a team. So this, I think, would be an incredible week for us to be able to do that. You know, at JCB, you know, we have this as our home venue. I think we're proud. I think we put a lot of time and effort, and the whole team have worked tirelessly hard, you know, with JCB to make this, you know, a really big home event for us. So, you know, the guys are pretty excited. We're pretty excited to go out there in front of 50,000+ fans, have a much younger demographic and audience, and more kids for us to play golf in front of. And, you know, hopefully our golf will prove us right at the end of the week, and hopefully we can have a successful week like the Rippers did in Australia.
And then just on another note, with someone who's got such a strong connection to the Ryder Cup, I just wanted your thoughts on the announcement this week that they'll be heading to Spain in 2031.
Okay, I didn't know that. Fantastic. I think that'll be absolutely amazing. Great venue, obviously. The last time it was there, Sevi was captain and obviously was victorious. So, you know, hopefully Luke and the team have a great time out in Bethpage Black. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be loud. It's going to be intense for them. But you know, any away Ryder Cup is super hard. So, you know, hopefully the lads can do a good job and bring that trophy back.
Any more questions?
Scott's talking about an application for world ranking points. I was curious the last few years when you guys aren't receiving them, has there been other means for trying to understand like where you rank? Are there other rankings that you've paid attention to or statistics that you have tried to understand? Like, am I making progress or am I ranking highly? What have you used to understand that?
I think you was comparing yourself to Sam. I think you just went back in front of Sam, your son.
Yeah, with my result last week in the Open Championship, I moved back above my son in the world rankings, which was nice, But, I think that just proves that, without world ranking points, it makes a bit of a mockery of the system. So, it's good that an application's gone back in. I think mainly it relates back to wanting all the best players in the major championships, not wanting this conversation where there's a few people missing out because we don't get world ranking points on LIV. We either start to get world ranking points on LIV, or the major championships have to revise their qualification system, which they seem. Some of them seem to want to do, but some seem reluctant to do that, right? And they'd have to, have a separate qualification system for LIV players, which I don't think anybody particularly wants. You want it all to be based off the same system. So, it has to be looked at carefully, and somebody has to come up with I don't know whether they're going to backdate it or what, but, we're all starting from a low position, aren't we? I've only got one tournament counting on the world rankings, I think, and finishing mid-30s last week moved me up something like 3,000 spots, which shows that there's something wrong with the system as it stands.
I guess, am I overstating trying to understand where you rank? Like, is that important?
There's no point in even trying, I would say, at this moment in time.
Okay. Yeah. I guess as someone who just is religiously looking at data golf, that's I think somewhat explains a little bit better than the world rankings. Sometimes a lot better. And I was just curious if that ever dawned on you to check that stuff out.
I'm sure there's other people running their own ranking systems, trying to kind of jump in that niche where the world rankings are currently lacking, right?
Lee, hi. Just on last week, how do you reflect back on your performance there? How proud were you of what you delivered?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? A couple of weeks before the Open Championship qualifying, I was thinking of not even playing. So, in everything you weigh things up, and I decided that there were more positives to try and qualify than negatives. I love Portrush. It's my favourite links golf course to play. I love the Open Championship. I didn't qualify the previous 2 years for various reasons, and I thought I'd give it a crack this year, and came through the qualifying and won the qualifying. So really, I was onto a winner before I even teed a ball up in anger at Portrush. Just enjoying the atmosphere and going out there, and at the age of 52, you don't know how many Open Championships you've got left. So just trying to enjoy playing in front of what I think is the best fans in the world at the Open Championship, and enjoying that walk coming up the 18th green, and maybe making a few birdies, hopefully making more birdies than bogeys. So it was nice to finish under par and being in there for a little while. And I made a few mistakes on the last day, made a triple on 8, which really sort of like put me out of I was trying to have small goals as the week went on, and when I got into a decent position on Saturday, trying to have a goal of maybe getting in the top 10 and being back for next year. But at the end of the day, I had a fantastic week, really enjoyed it, and I might try and qualify next year for Birkdale, because I love Birkdale as well. So it was a really positive week, and I had a lot of good shots, and hopefully I'll carry some of that form into this week.
Just one last one.
Yeah, Lee, to carry on the qualifying, from afar, I'm watching you through social media, and it seemed like a good group of people were out following you during qualifying. Does that warm your heart or does it make you feel like some sort of respect of the local town came out to really kind of root you on more than anyone else in qualifying?
Yeah, I guess I had 250 people walking around and 5 dogs. And that's the great thing about it, you know, like the US Open and the Open Championship, they have a qualification process. So literally anybody can go and try and qualify and play in those tournaments. Now the other two majors don't. So they're the ones that may really benefit from LIV being included back into the World Golf Rankings. But, you know, I've played for 33 years in front of the people that walked around in the Open qualifying, and, you know, they've seen me grow up and they've seen my career move forward, and they've seen the highs and seen the lows, and they like to come out and watch the golf firsthand, and that, you know, they get that opportunity at the Open Championship qualifying to come and walk behind and get close to the action, right? So, you know, it's nice to. It's the first time in 30 years I've tried to qualify for an Open Championship. I think 1995 was the last time, and in a perverse kind of way, I really enjoyed, you know, the qualification process and playing with the younger kids. And, you know, I was playing with a young amateur from Scotland, Connor Graham, who's a great young prospect. He's got a lot of game and he's at college in the States. And it's nice to kind of watch those people come on. And, you know, that was another great thing for me about playing in the Open Championship. You know, in the practice rounds, I played with some good young amateurs as well who've got a lot of game, and clearly because they've qualified for the Open, they're going to sometime down the road be tour players or something like that. So, you know, at my age, it's nice to go out and watch the young crop come through, but also have that little bit of needle where you're trying to beat them and, you know, just put them in their place. So it's it was good fun, actually. I really enjoyed the Open Championship and the qualification process this year. Yeah.
All right, gents, thank you very much for your time and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.